Today's toy spot is on the DC Universe Justice League Unlimited. We're looking at the box set Mutiny in the Ranks. Mutiny in the Ranks come with 6 figures. I've got 5 fingers, but there's actually 6. I had to use another hand. 6 figures in this set. And those figures are, we've got Talia, we've got Devil Ray, Psycho Pirate, Dr. Polaris, Lex Luthor, and Gentleman Ghost. Plus, also, for the first time in a JLU style, you get yourself Talia, you got Devil Ray, Psycho Pirate, Dr. Polaris, and Gentleman Ghost. The only reused figure in this set is actually Lex Luthor, down below. An older set. It's not super old, but an older set that relies on the original DC Universe style packaging with the orange and the yellow. It's kind of drabby, but it gets the point across. On the back, what I do like is that they give read-ups on all the characters. Talia says, a mystic who once worked under Amanda Waller at Project Cadmus, Talia was later recruited by Gorilla Grodd when he reformed the Secret Society as a safe haven for DC supervillains. She used her mystical talents to help both Grodd and Lex Luthor achieve their evil ends. Dr. Polaris says, possessing control over all forms of metal, Dr. Polaris joined Grodd's Secret Society to help make a quick, underhanded buck. Although he is loyal to Grodd at first, his ambition took over when Luthor assumed command and Polaris led a mutiny to take control of the society himself. Lex Luthor says, a criminal mastermind, Lex Luthor only joined up with Gorilla Grodd's Secret Society in order to obtain the last remaining piece of Brainiac. After Luthor discovered Grodd's true goal, he seized leadership of the society and assumed command himself. It'd be help if I actually had it in the picture, in the view here. Up at the top, we've got Devil Ray, not to be confused with Manta Ray, but same essentially character. Same character. A cutthroat underwater mercenary, Devil Ray gladly joined Grodd's secret society, helping lead a strike team against Nanda Parbat and an unglobal warming conference. Eventually, he met his demise at the hands of Deadman, deep in the heart of Gorilla City. Psycho Pirate, possessing a Medusa mask which can manipulate the emotions of anyone who looks at it. Psycho Pirate is in fact one of the most powerful villains on Earth. As a member of Grodd's enforcement squad, he remains a loyal part of the secret society. There's also a picture of him as well. And finally, Gentleman Ghost, a notorious highway robber from the Old West. Gentleman Jim Craddock survived his own hanging and returned as a ghost to wander the Earth. Eventually, he joined Grodd's Secret Society and became a menace to Hawkman and other heroes in the JLU. Very nice. That's packaging. What we're going to do, as we always do here on the review spot, is we are going to open this up. I keep banging the camera. We're going to open this up and we will have a look at the 6 figures, 6, that make up this set. So stay tuned, guys. There is so much more to come. Don't go anywhere. Well, I didn't even bother trying to stand these guys up. They're Justice League figures, so they're not going to stand. So I just laid them down, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through each figure that make up this set. We'll start first with the repack of the well, he's the only non-new figure. Where am I going with this? He's the only he's the only figure that is repacked with this set, this limited set. And that is Lex Luthor himself. The outfit that he is in has been reused with this figure on about 3 occasions. Certainly it's not different. You have one Luthor. You do have many. You probably have them all. One thing that is neat, if I show you a close-up of his face, is that for those watching Justice League Unlimited, you know that Lex Luthor isn't really quite a white guy. He's not really a cracker. He does actually have a darker skin tone to him, which some of the earlier Lex Luthor figures from Justice League Unlimited all had very pale skin. Recently, they've now started going into giving Lex Luthor here a darker tanned complexion, which makes him look more accurate to the cartoon than some of the previous released Luthors. So that's one thing I do like. It is a real shame, though, that I wish they'd go back and they'd actually re-release Lex Luthor in a business suit with altered armor. The body armor that was in the first wave of Justice League Unlimited figures, or Justice League figures before they actually became Unlimited. But I'd love to see or even just forget the business suit, maybe just give us an actual suited up Lex Luthor. Just put the actual armor on him and just keep it permanent. That would be neat, because then you could actually have a pretty good looking Injustice League going on there. So I do like Luthor. Yes, he's been released numerous times, but the darker complexion definitely makes this Luthor a superior figure. And for that, I'm going to give Lex Luthor here, I'm going to give him a 6. It's a shame, really, that his gun doesn't come up, but oh well. A 6 for Lex Luthor. By the way, I don't know if I'll cover off in every figure, but it's Articulation, Standard Justice League, Swivel in the head, you got Swivel in the arms, and finally Swivel in the legs. Lex Luthor, folks. Let's put him down. Let's have a look at Talia. Talia being one of the exclusives to this set. She's got a little piece of plastic or something on her. Now she's got the whitish eyes. Can't quite really make out her eyes. She's got a very long face too. Why the long face is what I would ask. She's got this really neat hair. I do like it quite a bit. This is actually a really neat figure. It utilizes the exact same sculpt as most female bodies, although they've given her also a leather kind of a dress, which I think is very neat. Her standard articulation is the same. Swivel in the legs, swivel in the arms, and also a swiveled head. Can't really do as much with her head because her hair is so long it prevents you from actually really being able to turn it. Now Tala, also comes with a display stand, which I would say you probably will need, as with most female figures, they don't stand at all. For how bad the male characters stand, the female are even worse. So if you have more of these, do hold on to your female figure stands. You will, sir, need them. Or you can also, if you have the larger Justice League Unlimited figure stands, which I've also reviewed, use those as well, because these females do not stand very well on their own. Talia, however, I'm going to give a 7.5 in the scheme of Justice League figures, because she is very nice, and certainly if you are putting together a legion, so to speak, of Doom, definitely want her with Gorilla Grodd. So that is Talia. Maybe I'll keep her standing because she will actually stand now. Really a figure I want to keep for the last. Let's look though at Devil Ray. No, not Manta Ray. Devil Ray. As a matter of preference, I would say this guy is my favorite of this set. The color is very nice. The head sculpt is fantastic. And he's based on a really cool character in the cartoon. He's got his gun, which is really just painted on, but that's the one downside for most Justice League figures, is a lot of the details are just paint on. They don't really tend to put a lot of actual accessories or things over top. Having said that, though, they actually did take a piece of like a rubbery plastic, and they put it over top of the upper torso just to give him the added details from the cartoon. And I think he looks awesome. I definitely think he looks awesome. Standard articulation, so I won't touch too much on that. But Devil Ray here gets an 8. He is definitely, probably, for me at least, he is the reason to get this set. Probably second only to Talia and Gentleman Ghost, which I'll get into in a second. But I do like Devil Ray quite a bit. So that's Devil Ray. Is he going to stand? No. Let's just put him down. We've got ourselves Psycho Pirate, who, from what I remember, did not have very many appearances in the Justice League cartoon. He's got an interesting enough outfit. Kind of, you know, you can look at it and kind of think it looks a little like Harley Quinn. He's got a cool cape, which I like as well. It almost seems like it's using a Martian Manhunter body, but by the time that the Secret Society, Mutiny in the Rank box set was out, I don't think they actually had the lower scaled or smaller scaled Martian Manhunter yet. They were still using the larger scale. So they probably reused this body for the single carded shorter Martian Manhunter. Psycho Pirate, you either like him or you don't like him. He's probably one of those people that just sit in the background if you have him on display. I'm probably only going to give him... his outfit is neat enough. I'm going to give him a 5.5. Moving along, we've got ourselves Magneto. Sorry, we've got ourselves Dr. Polaris, who I actually think has a really neat head sculpt. I think that's neat looking. Really captures, I think, the of what they look like in the cartoon. Just that added bit of detail. He's got himself a cool little outfit. Once again, using a additional piece of rubbery kind of plastic overlaid over top of a standard Justice League body. But it's enough to make the figure look different. I mean, certainly if you pick it up compared to Lex Luthor here, they do look different, even though they are pretty much using... Well, actually, they are using the exact same body. So it just goes to show what just a few pieces here and there can do to make a figure look actually pretty decent. Dr. Polaris, I'm going to give a 6.5. And finally, in this review, let's have a look at Gentleman Ghost. I really like Gentleman Ghost. The only downside I ever have with a Gentleman Ghost figure is that you can obviously see how some toy companies try to get around, and usually it's Mattel, but how they try to get around the idea of a floating hat. Generally what it is they just raise the collar extremely high up, and then they just set the hat on top to give the idea of a faceless character. The real only downside I would have to it is the fact that his head would be here. Technically his hat is further back, but again, you can't really do too much. If you had the hat moved forward, it would only make for something that could easily break off. It uses the same body as Joker, for those who remember the Joker figure. The only difference is they swapped out the card-holding hand for a straight hand instead, or straight arm. Which is actually funny because the original concept pictures for Gentleman Ghost showed the bent hand or the bent arm with the card in hand. And I looked at it, I'm thinking, oh geez, could they have not at least changed it? Which they have, which I do like quite a bit. Gentleman Ghost, I'm going to give him a high one because as silly as the hat does look, the figure still is very, very cool. Gentleman Ghost, I'm going to give an 8.52. So there you go, guys. You have the 6 characters. Here we go again. We have the 6 characters that make up the Justice League Unlimited Mutiny in the Ranks. And that was today's Toy Spot. The Justice League Unlimited Mutiny in the Ranks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Toy Spots to come. And I will see you guys next time.